Hi everybody, I'd like to share with you some of my upbringing as a Buddhist. Being brought up in a Buddhist family is quite unique. I remember chanting at the age of 4. I remember every day getting up, my mother would say to me, if you don't do your chant, you're not going to get breakfast. So I remember that very clearly, although I'm sort of rubbing my eyes, still trying to wake up, I'll do my chant. But my first real experience with Buddhism is actually when I was about 15 and 16 years old, when I was in New Zealand. By that time, we have immigrated from Taiwan to New Zealand. Our guru came to New Zealand to give us an empowerment. That time we had to sit through 4 hours. My legs were just killing me. But what I realized out of that was that through that sedimentation of your spirit and for your heart, you can actually open up an inner dimension. And when you do that, you give yourself the opportunity to self-reflect. That has been the key lesson for me ever since then. And being able to self-reflect has given me a lot more capacity to deal with the things I have to deal with every day. Hi everybody. Growing up in New Zealand, I went to the University of Auckland to do a 5-year degree in architecture. That was a very good time in my life. But being educated in the Western education system taught me some very particular things. One of them is individualism. That's a very Western concept, in which our pursuit in life is all about the self. Whereas in Buddhism, there's no such thing as the self. In fact, we use this concept called bodhicitta, which is the practice to treat every single sentient being as your only child, to shower them with unconditional love, in which you shower your own children. That sounds like an incredible concept to practice. But I realized why it is so important. Just within architecture school, we used to be very competitive. You know, if I don't get an A+, somebody else will get an A+. So what do? In this case, I experimented. I actually did as much as I can, and I went to help people with their work if that was possible. But what I realized is that when I opened myself up to others, more ideas came back to me and made my work even better. They made me realize the greatness of bodhicitta and why we should practice it to increase our capacity. After I graduated from the University of Auckland, I went straight to Brisbane to start my architectural career. I got my architectural register license at the age of 24. Through that experience, it really opened up my mind into what Buddhism can do in an actual business environment. In that experience, I realized that first time, I'm not at school anymore. It's not about just a personal pursuit. It's always about a team. It's always about a company. We're all trying to do something. But it's also not just for our own benefit. This company is within a society. It's trying to serve something in society. It's serving the people, serving the community that's in society. In that concept, why should we work hard? Why should we work for the benefit of others? It's very important that while we pursue perfection in our own work, we're actually bringing benefit to the community. Whether you're an architect, or you're an accountant, or a lawyer, there's people out there for you to serve, for you to provide service. And in that spirit, you realize that a competitive spirit is very important, but your intention is even more important. And if the intention is to build upon the benefit of others, you will find a lot more energy and motivation and spirit in your daily work. Two years into my work, I think it was around 2007 and also 2009, I had the very rare opportunity to visit Sri Lanka. We all know Sri Lanka is a very exotic, beautiful country. But when I got there, I hopped in a van with a bunch of people and went straight to the East Coast. What I found there was a completely disastrous situation. The 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami has completely destroyed the east coast of Sri Lanka. What I saw was these tall palm trees with their tops chopped off. That was how high the waves came in. Concrete buildings smashed to bits. That had a huge impact on me. First of all, I realized that I live in such a peaceful and beautiful country like New Zealand that I don't have to worry about these things. There's no civil war, there's no massive natural disasters such as a tsunami. But I also realized that other places around the world are constantly suffering. So I thought to myself, as a person in my 20s, we should take more responsibility in using our energy and our effort to benefit others, because we have the conditions to do that. we have the resources, the time, the energy, and the money to take the opportunity to volunteer and help others, where some people don't. So what I tell myself and what I've learned is that when I'm in a position, a better position, that doesn't mean I should take advantage of that. It just means I have more responsibilities to help others. And that's been a very important part of my life. So in my 4th year of study, out of a 5-year architectural degree, I had an opportunity, a very exciting one, to go to UCLA, University of California, Los Angeles. That was a very exciting experience for me, full of wonders. It's the first time I'm going to leave home and actually see the world just by myself. But also with that came a lot of anxiety and fear, because I'm going to leave the safety and the comfort of my own home in New Zealand. With that, I went to America and I experienced a lot of things. And no doubt, I saw a lot of violence, a lot of sexual things, a lot of drugs and alcohol. It is within that year I realized how important our practice is. Because at home, we're protected. We're protected by our environment, our parents, and our family. Outside, in an environment such as Los Angeles, you need to protect yourself from within. First time I went through the scripture and I thought to myself, okay, I'm going to stick to all these things to clear my mind, to clarify and to beautify what's inside the spirit. So don't let it get contaminated and polluted. It is through this practice, like what the Buddhism said, the lotus can emerge out of mud but still preserve its purity. So I think that's why Buddhism is so important to me, because that's what I carry with me every day now.